So for everybody who I haven't met yet, I think I know by now most people in the room, but anybody here who came to this meeting for the first time ever? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, more people than I thought they would be. So, okay. My name is Chris. I'm a partner at blockchain venture fund Sustaining Capital. Carl, my partner over here, formed this Ethereum meetup 4 years ago. Both Carl and I have been technology investors for a few decades now, but for the past couple of years, we've been exclusively focusing on the blockchain space and created Sustaining to expand what we are doing. So we have a small team of analysts and data scientists that work at the other office. I think they're still there. And so tonight we're going to talk about blockchain for the real world. We do these events typically every 4 or 6 weeks and try to focus on one particular topic. If you have an idea for a new topic that you care about, feel free to reach out to me or Heber or any of our other team members and suggest what you'd like to talk about. Our next event is going to be in 6 weeks from now. And so far, we're planning on talking about the topic of what I refer to as money over IP. I might go into this a little bit later, but I'm going to keep it short on my end. What I like to do in the beginning typically is kind of clarify my understanding of blockchain, and mostly because we don't really have an agenda as allocators to the space, meaning a lot of times people will present the topic of blockchain because they have a solution in the space that they're trying to present to you and sell to you and whatnot. And that holds particularly true for larger entities that kind of trying to co-opt that term. You probably all saw JP Morgan Chase promote their JPM coin, and you see lots of other companies throwing this label blockchain around. And a lot of time, that's actually not blockchain. Specifically, when people use this term blockchain technology, you know that they don't know blockchain. What I mean by that is if you read the Bitcoin white paper, and if you made it to the references, you'll see it refers back to blockchain technology, which was created like 10 years before the Bitcoin white paper. So blockchain technology really refers to a specific way of encrypting data. You're using one piece of a previous block to include it in the next block to hash it over and over and over again. That's blockchain technology. So whenever someone is using that term, you can be pretty darn sure that they're not talking about blockchain and probably don't know what they're talking about. The same holds true when people talk about distributed ledgers. I went to another event, was it 4 weeks ago, and someone was again explaining blockchain as, it's a distributed ledger, it's a decentralized database. It's like, no, it's not. Distributed ledger is the legacy system. Like your account at JP Morgan Chase, if you, Bob, send it to Alice at Bank of America, those are distributed ledgers. Like someone on your behalf makes an update to their or to your ledger to then transfer it to someone else, where then another person makes an update to a ledger. So blockchain is actually replacing distributed ledger technology. It's not distributed ledger technology. So what I consider blockchain to be is a stack to create new protocols. The internet as we see it today is made up of protocols, right? So you got SMTP and FTP and all these protocols that allow you to send emails for free, to present websites for free, to share content for free. But what wasn't possible up until the introduction of Bitcoin specifically is concepts such as money over IP, right? So Bitcoin introduced the first idea of money over IP. It's not perfect yet because it's not end-to-end for the most part, but it will be. The other things are assets over IP and so forth. All new protocols you can build with the blockchain stack. So that's what we are really excited about. And then lastly, and that's another topic for another day, would be identity over IP, where you own your identity again. So one last thing about what's the mainnet, what's the sidechain. Everybody knows the CryptoKitty? Okay, so CryptoKitty is based on a standard called ERC 721. It's the idea that I can have unique digital items that are non-fungible. It's based on a particular standard, but that's all it is right now, meaning if you transfer ownership of that CryptoKitty, really what you're transferring is this PNG. All the functions, all the breeding functions and so forth happen on the sidechain, read database, read proprietary smart contract. So a lot of times in that particular context, people will equate smart contracts with tokens. That's untrue. Every token is a smart contract, but not every smart contract is a token. Hence, it will be years, if you were at one of our last meetings, will be years before we have actual security tokens, because there is no security token protocol on mainnet. So why is this important? Because, hey, if this company that's maintaining the sidechain, in this particular case, CryptoKitty, goes away, there goes your function of breeding this CryptoKitty, and that was probably pretty important to what you were trying to do and why you were buying this particular item in the first place. So I always show this particular item because a smart contract is very much like a vending machine, right? You program it to do something very specific. Once you throw in a token, you get the item that you want to get from the particular vending machine once you push the button and put in the right token. Cryptocurrencies, there's actually very few cryptocurrencies, although the term has specifically thrown over everything that's blockchain-based assets, also not true. Currencies are systems of money. Most of these blockchain-based items are not systems of money, weren't created for that. Specifically, Ether was never created to be a currency, obviously. Anyway, I'm running through this real quick because I really want you to get to Nigel. He's way more interesting than me. I think Nigel is probably one of the most interesting men on the planet, more so than the Doseki man, because Nigel is actually the fastest man on the planet. I've known Nigel for what, 15 years now or something? And so Nigel races speedboats. Anyway, can you tell me more about that? So we did this just real quick because it pertains to what we call blockchain in the real world. So we did this particular example. If you haven't seen this in our last meetup or the one before that, so this is the idea that you can take a non-fungible token, attaches to a real-world item, and track it along different blockchains. I think this is going to become a very important concept for the real world, specifically for supply chains. So you see all the different variations of blockchain. You're starting with an Ethereum entry, you're handing it over to IOTA or something else, and it will end up on Stellar or something else, or EOS, at the end of the day to then be presented on your smartphone, where you can look up all the prerequisite of this token along the supply chain. Again, I made this really, really fast. If you have any questions about that, ask me later or see our video to that topic.